Welcome to the Renegades of Real Estate podcast, where we explore everything you need to know about buying, selling, investing, and designing your dream home.
Each episode, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of real estate. Thinking about life as a realtor? We've got the inside scoop. Plus, we'll chat with other industry experts, share incredible stories, and dish out advice on what to watch out for in the real estate jungle.
So whether you're taking your first step into the market, gearing up to sell, or ready to invest, we're here to make the journey fun, easy peasy, and super informative. Stick around until the end of the episode to find out the real estate secret of the week.
Grab your hard hats, folks. We're about to build some real estate dreams together on RORE. Welcome back to Renegades of Real Estate podcast, where Shelby Carver and I, Riane Hysell, spill the tea on all things realty. Today's episode is a deep dive into the realities of being in the real estate game. We'll share why we were drawn into the industry, the costs of becoming an agent, and what a day in the life of being an agent really looks like. We're also going to have some special guests join us to share real life stories and wild experiences in the business.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a real estate agent? Maybe you've thought about selling your house, or you're just curious about the work that goes behind those for sale signs you see all around town. Well, today we're answering all your burning questions and busting some myths about real estate agents. Let's get started. First up, our journey into real estate. Riane, can you tell our listeners what led you to the wild world of real estate?
Absolutely, Shelby. Choosing a career in real estate was a multifaceted decision for me. It was fueled by various interests and lifestyle considerations. The financial and social aspects of realty have always really intrigued me. The potential for financial growth and the opportunity to connect with people in a meaningful way were definitely major draws for me. However, the pivotal factor that tipped the scales towards a career in real estate was the flexibility it offered in terms of working hours. Over the last 3 years, I've navigated the challenges of moving to Idaho for school, actively engaging in my studies, and went from being a part-time stepmom to a full-time stepmom overnight. During this time, jobs that allowed me to create my own schedule became a lifeline. I needed the freedom to balance my roles as a student and a partner, and now as a parent. When I graduated, I was determined to maintain that flexibility that had become such an integral part of my lifestyle. Being a new realtor aligns perfectly with my busy life. I am not only juggling the responsibilities of being a real estate professional, but also playing the roles as a mom and a cook and a chaperone and a maid and, all the things that come with being a parent and a partner to someone. And to add a little bit of fun, I'm co-creating a podcast with Shelby, and I'm also learning American Sign Language. So the flexibility in my schedule as a realtor allows me to continue operating my life in a way that suits my active and busy lifestyle. It's not just a career, it's a lifestyle choice that empowers me to integrate all the parts of my life while pursuing my passion for real estate. But what about you, Shelby? What brought you into the real estate world?
Well, I'm drawn into real estate for many of the same reasons as you. The flexibility to be there for my family means the absolute world to me. Being able to pick up my daughter after school has been a huge blessing because that's when they're most willing to open up and talk about their day. Real estate has allowed me to be there for all the school plays, games, and the sick days. And since our market slows down around the holidays, I get to slow down and spend more time at home planning and prepping for friends and family. I love to help people. It brings so much joy into my life, and it's one of the most special things about a job in real estate. And I love helping first-time home buyers find their perfect property. I also chose real estate because of the financial opportunities. I wanted to learn the ins and outs of being a savvy investor and share that knowledge. To be completely honest, I just want to be like Joanna Gaines. Designing is a true passion of mine, and if I could spend every day making the world more beautiful, I would. Have you seen their new hotel series?
I have not yet.
It is amazing. I love that she incorporates historic elements with modern comfort, and they're just so much fun to watch.
Awesome, I'll have to check it out.
Real estate is such an exciting journey, and I love that every day is different. I really enjoy the social aspect as well, and I've made some incredible friendships in these past few years. This career really encompasses my passions in life, and there's never a dull moment. All right, moving on to our next, we have the reality of being a new agent. Riane, what were some of the surprises and challenges you faced when you first stepped into the real estate game?
Good question, Shelby. Continuing with what I mentioned earlier, anyone who has entered the real estate game knows that in order to be successful in the industry, yes, you have the freedom to create your own schedule, but your job highly depends and is based around other people's schedules and lives. Being a new realtor is demanding, and it goes beyond like the glossy facade that's often associated with the profession. Behind the scenes, it's a hustle, and it involves hours of unpaid work and a huge learning curve. One of the first hurdles of diving into the world is marketing, not just understanding its principles, but learning how to navigate and utilize various platforms and tools that you often have to pay for.
Yeah, it's really a lot.
And then from stamping postcards and hanging door hangers to tossing business cards around like confetti, the initial stages of real estate involve getting your name out there literally and figuratively. Networking becomes this vital skill, as does the ability to balance different modes of self-promotion, such as creating videos, Instagram and Facebook posts and stories, and interactive content like polls, would you rather, and this or that. Learning the ropes of being a realtor also extends to educational classes and conferences, understanding how to perform a comparable market analysis, and becoming proficient in various apps like Realist, MLS, lockbox systems, and more. Each day may include exploring vacant houses and engaging in team meetings to stay informed and connected. Yet beyond the hours invested, there's a financial reality to face. It's the stark truth in real estate that you have to spend money to make money. And oftentimes, agents will have other side gigs to help financially support them.
Yep, that's very true. Riane, could you break down the costs a new agent would have to give our listeners a better understanding of what it takes to get in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Being a real estate agent means that you are an independent contractor, so you pay for all the necessary expenses. Here's a breakdown of some of the expenses that you might have. The costs will vary, so you'll want to research the costs in your area. Pre-licensing education, licensing exam fee, real estate licensing application fee, background check and fingerprinting, board and association memberships, the multiple listing service access, business expenses such as marketing materials, business cards, signage, website, photography, continuing education to maintain your license, insurance, brokerage fees, and additional tools and technology. In total, initial costs for becoming a real estate agent can range approximately from $4,000 to $5,000 or more, with ongoing annual expenses adding additional costs. Keep in mind, these figures are estimates and can vary based on location, the choices that you make, and the changes in the market or in licensing requirements.
Yes, that's very true. It typically takes 30 to 45 days once you go under contract before you can close on a property. And there are many variables in between that can hinder a sale. Keep in mind, it's not about you receiving a paycheck. It's about your clients and what's in their best interest.
Absolutely.
As independent contractors, you'll pay self-employment taxes, and you won't get benefits that may be offered by other employers, such as retirement accounts or health insurance. Now that we've covered the costs of becoming an agent, the biggest financial stressor can be the highs and lows of the market. Your income is unpredictable, and it's common for new agents to go months without a paycheck when beginning their real estate career. Once you get going, save as much of your paycheck as possible.
Absolutely. Next, let's talk about the typical day for a real estate agent. Spoiler alert, there's no such thing as typical. Every day is a new adventure. From showing homes to staging a house for sale, it's a whirlwind of activities. While it's a ton of fun to tour new listings, there's a lot more behind the scenes to being an agent. Shelby, what is a typical day in real estate really like?
Well, like you said, every day is different as a realtor. A majority of my time is spent on networking and marketing because getting clients is the key to success. We are constantly on our phones, communicating with buyers, sellers, scheduling showings, and communicating with our colleagues. We work nights and weekends, and even though our schedules are flexible, we really work around our clients' availability. Real estate is a fast-paced environment, and we are always on our toes. We also spend time training, keeping up with new laws and regulations, and learning how to best serve and protect our clients. A big part of our job is problem solving. Most phone calls are either really great and exciting news or devastating blows. Inspections can unveil expensive issues that need resolved, and financing can be challenging for people to secure. Sometimes a title search can reveal debts on properties or easements that were unknown by the seller. Many days are spent on the computer, and others I get to go out in the community, driving through the mountains and showing houses.
So there you have it, friends, a sneak peek into the life of a real estate agent. Real estate is a journey where the path to profitability is paved with dedication, resilience, and a willingness to invest not only time, but also finances. It's a challenging terrain, but for those who navigate it with determination, the rewards can be substantial.
Moving on to our next segment, we are going to answer your burning questions and bust some myths.
All right, Shelby, how long did it take you to get paid as a new agent?
It took me about 4 months to get my first paycheck, but for some agents, it can take longer than that. I got in at a good time for agents, which was the beginning of 2021, and they said it was like drinking out of a fire hose because there were so many people looking to buy and the market was really hot. I did have a few things go under contract right away and a few things that fell out of contract.
Awesome. Well, not awesome, but should I start out a career in real estate as a part-time agent to ease myself out of my old career, or should just go full throttle into it?
If you can find a way to make it work, just jump off that cliff and go for it. It takes a lot of time to build a real estate career, and it's even harder to get started with little time to dedicate towards it.
Makes sense. What was the most challenging transaction you've had, and how did it work out?
So I had one transaction that at the beginning, everything was going smoothly. I really didn't see problems in the transaction, but we made it to closing day, got all the paperwork signed. I handed over the keys. We went up to the house, took pictures in front of the house, and I posted congratulations on social media, only to find out a few hours later that the bank would not be funding because there were issues with the lot lines. And that was devastating. It ended up taking 8 months to close this deal. It was very stressful and hard on my client.
But it all worked out. She got into her dream house.
It did.
Awesome.
Yes.
What is the best part of being a realtor, and what is the worst part in your opinion?
The best part is helping wonderful clients find their dream homes. The worst part is the fear of being sued. We really try our best and do everything we can to protect our clients and do things in the right way. But as a realtor, it's a reality that we just have to face.
Absolutely. How long does it take to become an expert agent?
I don't know if you ever actually become an expert agent, just because the industry is constantly evolving and you got to be out there selling houses and doing continuing education, and you just continue to learn and grow as time goes on. All right, Riane, you ready to bust some myths?
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, our first one is being a realtor is quick and easy money.
That is definitely a myth. It is not quick, easy money. The real truth of it is that you have to invest money to make money in the industry. And there's so much that you might have to invest into your career, including marketing materials, educational costs, ongoing education, travel, clothes, if you don't already have like professional clothes. So yes, definitely being a realtor is not quick, easy money. There are so many unpaid hours that go into a transaction before getting paid at all.
Yep. Next one is you need a ton of cash to buy a home.
Also false. Back in the day, it was standard to put 20% down on a house that you were going to buy. But right now, there are so many other options that you don't have to pay that full 20%. There are programs like the first-time homebuyers program that allow you to pay 3 to 5% down. But then there's also programs that even allow for 0% down, like a VA loan or a rural development loan. So it all depends on your financial situation and what you can allow and pay for, but you do not need a bunch of cash to buy a home.
It's good for people to know. All you need is a down payment to buy a home.
Also a myth. While a down payment is one of the many costs that you will pay in a real estate transaction, you also need to expect to have to pay for things like closing costs, inspection costs, appraisal costs, and repairs possibly. You definitely need more than just a down payment, or prepare to pay more than at least just the down payment.
If you've bought or sold a home before, you'll be a pro the next time around.
Also, a myth. Each transaction is completely different. So whether you are a buyer or a seller that is doing a second, third, fourth transaction in their lifetime, each transaction is going to be a little bit different than what you remember it being. Years have passed, the market has changed, your house has changed, it's changed value, whether it's added value or decreased value. So you won't ever essentially be a pro the next time that you buy or sell a house. You may be more familiar with the process.
Keep your mind open to change.
Absolutely. Keep your mind open to change and to new experiences.
You should always purchase a home in the spring.
False. You should purchase a home when it is good for you to purchase a home. Don't base it off the time of the year or when everybody else is buying. Buy when it is right for you.
Yes, love it.
As we wrap up today's episode, what advice do you have for those considering a career in real estate, Shelby?
Well, that's actually our real estate secret this week. If you want to pursue a real estate career, jump off that cliff. Make it happen. It comes with its risks, but there's only one way to find out if you have what it takes.
And that is our content for the week. But before we sign off, we are going to end each episode with a real estate related story. The good, the bad, and the funny, so make sure that you stick around. Today, we actually have two stories that we're going to present, mine and Jake Masters. Jake is also a realtor, and he has a great story that he is going to share with us today.
Thank you guys for having me today. I appreciate it. We were talking earlier this week about funny stories in real estate. Very funny story from one of my early on experiences. I got assigned one of my very first CMAs, and I was going around. I did not know who this owner was. I did not know where the house was. I finally got over there, and you're supposed to take photos of the house. And I'm out of my car, and I'm taking photos of this gentleman's house, and he sees me taking photos of his house, and it alerts him. He comes out on his deck, and he starts yelling at me across the way, going, "What are you doing? Why are you taking photos of my house?" And I don't really know what to say, but by that time, I'm about done, so I just hop right in my car and go. Don't think of anything else, and about 5 minutes later, I realized this guy found me, and he pulled up, and he followed me, and what are you doing taking photos of my house? And still, I didn't really know what to say because it was my very first time ever, and I just took a sharp left and booked it. Haven't ran into him again, and I was a little worried that he would find me around town and confront me again, but it all worked out, so.
That is a great story. That is awesome. My story that I have for this week relates back into this episode. When I was taking my pre-licensing education courses, I ended up having to take 2 different courses and purchasing 2 different courses in order to pass my exam. The first course that I did was a completely online, self-paced one where all you did was read the material. And I took that. It was a few $100s. And I took the test, which you also have to pay for, like 3 times, and I could not pass it. I ended up actually purchasing a second class, and I went through Knoll Morton, and it was an online class in Billings, Montana, that I attended on Zoom. And it was like an actual class for a whole week, and that was the only way that I passed my course. And so the moral of that story is if you don't like the course that you are doing, try another option that works for you. Because the self-paced one, it did not work for me. But going to class every single day, having an instructor that I could ask questions, that helped. And so don't be afraid if you don't pass your test the first time either. It's going to take work and it's going to take dedication, but you will pass it.
Thank you for sharing. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay tuned for more real estate wisdom. Until next time, this is Riane Hysell and Shelby Carver, signing off.